So those of you who already know him, Iman Gadzhi is a renowned online business guru or influencer, or whatever you want to call him. But Iman has some interesting points on dropshipping and e-commerce as a whole that I'm going to be debunking in this video based on real live experience. So without any further ado, let's get in to see what he has to say and kind of give my opinion and what you guys need to actually be thinking about when getting into e-com and dropshipping as a model. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. So I've got a video of where Iman's speaking on dropshipping, giving his opinions on the model of dropshipping, and I'm gonna actually go over this and break down all the myths that he's talking about, give my opinion on it based on real experience. So
dropshipping, if you've looked into how to make money online, you've probably already come across this. It's not really feasible.
Okay, first thing he's saying is it is not feasible. So for you guys that don't know what feasible means, it's being capable of being done or carried out. Now, obviously, dropshipping is very, very feasible. So dropshipping as an actual model is very, very feasible. I've generated well over $300,000 a month consistently with this model. And I'm doing this just from one of my stores. So it's definitely feasible. Breaking down what he's talking about there and debunking that, it's a no-brainer. Obviously, that's not true. So let's see what else he has to say.
The times that we live in, the shipping costs, the shipping times, quite frankly, dropshipping isn't hugely profitable.
Okay, so he's talking about one of the biggest things that people have to say about dropshipping is that the shipping times are terrible. Or if you're shipping directly from China, it's gonna take forever, right? And that's not true. That couldn't be further from the truth. And I'm gonna break that down and explain why that's not true, how you can get your shipping times in a reasonable manner, and create a good experience for your customers. So the typical drop shipping model is based on using AliExpress and the retail arbitrage model, right? So basically taking other retailers on AliExpress or other China-based retail sites and shipping directly with those listings or suppliers. This is, yes, I agree with this. It's a terrible thing to do. You should not run your business working with random retail suppliers based overseas and just drop shipping from their listings, because one, you are going to have like 15 to 30 day shipping times, which creates just an overall bad experience for your customers and can create problems in your business. So obviously the traditional way of drop shipping that everybody knows about is just not a good way to go about it. But drop shipping, again, is literally a model and is not directly correlated with having to use AliExpress to fulfill your items and ship your orders, right? So what I work with are private fulfillment teams or private fulfillment agents who are able to use special lines from China directly to basically any part of the world using reliable, fast shipping lines. And some of the shipping lines that we use is Unexpress and Yanwin. So Yanwin is similar to Unexpress in the sense where we can ship basically worldwide, we can get reliable shipping, and we can get decent times. So we're seeing anywhere along the lines of 7 to 10 days to basically any in the world or anywhere in the world. And sometimes even faster to like the United States, UK, parts of Europe, for example. So this is very, very doable to scale a business with a week shipping times. You just got to lock in good customer service. You got to make sure that you're being transparent on the front end with your customers. And this is going to just create a good experience that is set up properly from day one. So I agree with Iman in the sense of using the traditional AliExpress dropshipping model that everybody knows about is probably not the best decision to scale a business with. But if you're working with private fulfillment, you're getting good, fast, reliable shipping, you're more than good to use the dropshipping model to scale to exponential numbers. So that's my take on that. But let's jump into what else he has to say.
Isn't hugely profitable until you do it at scale. And in order to do it at scale, you have to have hundreds and hundreds of orders a day. And in order to accomplish that, you need to pay for ads.
Okay, so let's go over that. He's saying that you cannot be profitable unless you're selling hundreds of units per day or hundreds of orders per day, which couldn't be further from the truth. Now I want to break down why that's not true, how you can set yourself up for success, and actually make sure that you are profitable from the beginning. So obviously the things that dictate your profitability is, first and most importantly, your margin, right? And you have full control over this, over the products that you actually pick to advertise and sell, right? So your margin, right? So the next thing is that you can control your perceived value, which is the value of the product that somebody is willing to pay, right? It's just like the saying, something is only worth what the person who's buying it is willing to pay, right? And that's why we talk about perceived value. So perceived value basically is completely different for every single product, every individual product, every product category, every type of product. It's based on the product specifically. But where your margin and your perceived value come into play and how that correlates with your profits is in the very beginning, before you even spend a dime on ads. If you're setting yourself up with healthy profit margins that you can afford to spend money on ads, acquire customers, and make a healthy profit margin at the end of the day, then you're setting yourself up for success. So you can control these things by the products that you pick and how you structure your offer, right? So say you're getting a product that costs you $10 to buy and ship from your private fulfillment team, right? And then you're selling that product for $50 or $60, depending on the perceived value of what those products are being willing to be bought for from the market, right? You're setting yourself up for success to be able to spend money on ads and still be profitable on the front end. And that's without even talking about your back end, your email marketing, your audience building, your remarketing. There's so much more that goes into the profitability of the business. So it is very common to see margins of 20 to 30%, even on front end metrics within your e-commerce business using the dropship model, which is a very healthy margin when we're talking about business as a whole, especially with the ability to have a capless amount of scale with the e-commerce business. And that's just on the front end. So if you can maximize your back end and make even more profits, you can increase those profit percentages and have unlimited scale. So that's my breakdown of his ideology that you need to be selling hundreds of units to even make profit, which is not true if you set yourself up in the beginning and sell maybe higher ticket products or products with a stronger margin or higher margin percentage from day one. So let's check out what Rusty has to say.
Or to accomplish that, you need to pay for ads. Running ads can be a very rocky road, and especially when it comes for dropshipping businesses, because I can tell you right now, Facebook and Google do not like dropshipping businesses. Now you need to understand that picking the wrong model will absolutely obliterate.
Okay, so he's talking about advertising, right? So in any single business that you run, you're going to need to market your business some way, shape, or form. Now, the difference between outreach or organic marketing and paid marketing is one is you are trading your time and efforts for a potential result, and the other, you are trading your money for a potential result. Now, you don't have to move forward with paid advertising. It's not the only approach that you can go for when you're marketing your e-commerce business. You can run organic marketing, right? So leveraging high virality algorithms like the TikTok algorithm or Instagram Reels, or build up, big view counts on your organic marketing without any paid ads. Now, a lot of people do talk about it. There's pros and cons of this. And with organic marketing, the only real cons about it is that you can't control which traffic you're targeting. And also, you're not going after the people who are most likely to purchase and buy from you with that organic marketing. You're relying on the algorithm to just get views, right? Which views doesn't always correlate with actually getting sales. So the other thing is your paid marketing, right? So he talks that you need to be spending, thousands of dollars in paid marketing, just testing products before you can even, expect to be profitable, which isn't 100% true. If you get something, a good concept, a good strong margin on a product, and something that starts to take off with your paid advertising, I've seen people be uber profitable from day one, depending on the product and the offer and everything else that goes in between, right? So yes, paid advertising can be rocky. He says advertising can be a rocky road, which yes, it can if you don't know what you're doing. And it's like anything, any business, if you don't know what you're doing, it can be rocky. It's not just paid ads, right? So for him to say that paid ads are the only rocky thing, and if you can stay away from that or find a business model that's not rocky, then you're good. It's just not true. If you understand how paid ads work and you are learning and optimizing your paid ads based on somebody else's experience, or you're learning from somebody, that's a way to create a rocky situation into a smooth road. So it's just about, again, understanding the things and components in the business and just mastering and learning those components so that, you're not just burning your money and throwing your money at a wall and hoping that it sticks, right? So he talks about that being a rocky road, which if you set yourself up right, it's really not. And then he also mentions that Facebook and Google hate drop shippers, right? So that can't be farther from the truth. Now, Facebook and Google hate businesses that do not create a good experience for the customer. So yeah, if you're using a traditional model of drop shipping from random AliExpress listings with 30 plus day shipping time, then yeah, you're not going to be able to get a good customer experience. But that doesn't mean that it's drop shipping that's the problem. It just means that how you're operating your business is the problem. So with that sense, that means that any single business with a bad experience would also have the same advertising issues on Facebook and Google or wherever you're advertising. So no, it's not the drop shipping model that creates that bad experience. It's the business that you're operating and how you're operating your business that Facebook and Google doesn't like. So that's not true. Again, if you're running a good business that creates a good customer experience, you have good customer support, you have good and reliable shipping times, and you have good products that people are going to like when they actually get their order, you're not going to have a problem with Facebook and Google. So moral of the story is that you just need to create a good experience for your customer. All right, let's see what else.
Now you need to understand that picking the wrong model will absolutely obliterate your chances of any success.
That's
and
true.
not only choosing the wrong model, but choosing the wrong strategy that surrounds that model. And this holds very true with the first way that I'm going to suggest, which is drop shipping. Now, historically, I have never been a fan of drop shipping over the years. For the most part, I think at the time.
And to be completely transparent, one of the reasons why he says that is because Iman has made his money through the agency model and selling information online. So just to pinpoint that.
Model, and I think 90% of drop shippers are going to die. This is just me. This is my opinion. I could be completely wrong.
So he says that he believes, and this was from an old video from before, that drop shipping is going to die. And he says that he could be completely wrong. And he's, very, very far from the truth on that. So let's talk about the people who say that dropshipping is a dying model. So again, I cannot stress this enough, is that dropshipping is just a way of fulfilling orders, right? So it's just a fulfillment model, right? So it's just a way of fulfilling, and people have been saying this, like literally I've been hearing this since like 2018. Even before that, people were saying that. Right, that, dropshipping's dying, because they're trying to sell you on this next thing, right? They're trying to sell you on this next shiny object and tell you that, this is dead, so do this instead. And the best thing that you can do is actually get locked in and focused on one thing and master that skill. So people have been saying this, since 2018. And again, I would argue that dropshipping is better now than it ever has been. Reliable fulfillment has become a lot more proficient in the dropshipping space. Faster shipping times, things are evolving. Businesses and carriers and shipping companies are getting better and better. And, if you're working with the right team and learning from the right people, things are a lot smoother than they were in the past. So, work with the right team and learn from the right people, right? So that's a very, very important takeaway. You shouldn't be trying to do everything on your own, obviously, right? Learning from other people's mistakes, learning from other people's experience is the fastest way to fast track your own success. So that's my take on anybody who says dropshipping is a dying model. You could say that about any model out there, and it's probably not true. So there's tons of business models that you can be successful in, and there's a million ways to make $1 million. So focus in on one thing, master that, and you'll be so much further ahead than trying to find that next shiny object. All right, let's carry on.
Completely wrong. And that is because when you are first starting out in business, it is all about offense and defense. It's about choosing business models where the risk to reward ratio is in your favor. And I've seen it time and time and time again over the past few years where people will spend $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, hell, even $10,000 on ads just putting more money into ads, trying to find a winning product, and it just doesn't work. Now, the beauty is in 2023, you can...
Okay, so he's talking about the risk factor in the startup of this model, right? So I would argue that dropshipping has one of the lowest risk factors when getting started. You're not needing to pay for upfront inventory. You don't have to lease out big equipment like you would with any other business. You don't have to, lease out an office space or a warehouse or, any of these upfront costs before you actually drive money through the door. The only expense that you might have is your advertising and marketing expense. That's it. You might have to pay for a Shopify plan or a couple small apps here and there. But in the world of business, this is very low risk up front. Now, every single business on earth has risk, but having low upfront risk is something that dropshipping is, if not one of the best options for, because of those things, right? So even if you are spending money on ads, he talks about, spending thousands of dollars on ads. You should not be spending more than an X amount to test a specific product, right? So you should be able to set yourself up for, say, you have $100 budget per product that you test. If you focus on better product research methods, better offer structures, better creatives before you spend a dime on ads, and you're learning these from people who are actively selling and know what's working, you don't have to risk that $5,000-$10,000 plus in dollars in ad spend without knowing what you're doing. It's about working smarter and taking calculated risk rather than just random risk and learning all on your own as you go, right? So let's say take calculated risk. You shouldn't have to spend nearly that amount to start getting revenue in the door, right? You're not just spending money on ads. A lot of the products that I test that don't necessarily scale to, 6+ figures in sales, I'm getting a majority of the revenue to cover any ad spend that I had spent on testing that product anyways. So a lot of the times I'm still profitable after testing or breaking even, if not acquiring a lot of that ad spend back. So take calculated risks, and also some of your revenue and sales will cover your test spend. So this is something that he's not talking about, and that maybe people aren't talking about, is that a lot of times you're still going to get a few sales here and there that will cover a majority of your testing spend. And doing things smarter, not harder, or on your own is a very, very important thing that I just wanted to touch base on, because again, these things need to be adjusted and talked about.
It just doesn't work. Now, the beauty is in 2023, you can use free traffic sources like TikTok, Reels, even YouTube Shorts, and you can use these in order to validate your product. When it comes to dropshipping, the most important thing, everyone thinks the most important thing is having a fancy headline or fancy creative or all of this, when no,
Okay, so before he gets into this, I just want to again reiterate that yes, you can use organic marketing methods. It doesn't mean that they are going to be more impactful, that they're going to be more beneficial and more valuable to your business compared to advertising with paid ads, but it is an option that you can use. TikTok organic, Instagram Reels, ways of getting your videos to go viral and get tons of views. But again, just remember guys, views do not equal revenue, right? The quality of your impressions, the quality of your views can sometimes be a lot more important than the volume of your views. And that's why with paid ads, you can get hyper-targeted, target specifically the highest of quality of purchase intent-based customers to drive to your store and make purchases through your store. So those are the big differences that, again, a lot of people are preaching organic. You can make money with $0 using TikTok organic and all of these different organic marketing methods. But again, my take on it is that it is not nearly impactful and scalable in your business as paid advertising. So just keep that into consideration.
The most important thing is product selection, finding the right product, and not only finding the right product, but in the right timing. Because listen, in the same way, I think it was 2014.
Okay, so product. This is the one point, if not one of the main points, that I can agree with Iman on. Your product, again guys, we are selling products. We are in the business of selling products online. Your product is the most important thing in your entire business. So let's break down why. Why is the product the most important? Because obviously it's what people are buying from you, right? It's what people are buying. It's what controls your margin, right? Which has a big impact on your profit, right? So selecting products that not only have mass appeal to be scalable, but also have healthy profit margins so that you can be profitable after all of your operating expenses is very, very important. And also, you have the ability to pick products that solve problems or have desire. So if you can solve big enough problems to amass enough market, you have a potential of scaling to very, very big numbers. If you also have a product that has an exceptional amount of desire for a large amount of people, you also have the ability to scale to very big numbers. So these are things of why your product, and selecting your product and setting yourself up for success when picking products before you spend a dime on ads is very, very critical. That's the most important thing. So I do agree with him on that point. It's something that I preach in all of my videos. It's something that I preach inside of our community. And it's something that I tell all of our students, that the product is the most important thing. All right, let's carry on.
No, the most important thing is product selection. Finding the right product, and not only finding the right product, but in the right timing. Because listen, in the same way, I think it was 2014 or 2015, fidget spinners were the craze. I remember all of my friends, they all rocked up to school. They all had fidget spinners. They all ended up getting confiscated because they would just play around with it in class and stuff like that. So if you found that product back then, well then you'd be doing pretty well. Whereas these days, that's just no longer a winning product. So it is totally okay to constantly be chopping, changing, finding new winning products, just as long as you are not pouring money down the drain with ads, which is why in 2023, I would recommend it as a viable business model.
At the end of the day, Iman does recommend it as a viable business model. And you can see in some of his older videos, he was stating that it wasn't, and he didn't really back that up with enough experience-based facts to really be able to say that. And I'm hoping that I could have debunked some of this for you guys and really just brought to some of the insights around the myths that were being said in those videos, why they're not true, and then how you can do things properly from day one to actually crush it with ecom using the dropship model. Because again, there's a lot of money to be made if you do it properly. Now, if you try it on your own, or you try a bunch of random things and it doesn't work and you give up and quit and say the model doesn't work, that's on you. Now, if you do get into the right communities, you do talk to the right people and learn from the right people and use the right strategies and resources from day one, it's one, going to increase your success rate exponentially, and two, going to help you hit your goals faster and easier than you might have ever thought possible. So again, guys, I hope you got some value from this video. I just wanted to debunk some of the things that are out there on the internet and some of the things that really aren't true. So real quick, again, if you got any value from this video, guys, I just want to ask that you like this video down below, as it helps me more than you know. Stay motivated to make videos like these and really just drop value for you guys. And if you're not already, subscribe to the channel, because I'm dropping videos like this each week, every week, on the week, and I want you to be the first to see them. So hit that subscribe button down below. And if you want to take things to the next level and get from where you are to where you're trying to go in the fastest and most reliable way possible, I want to invite you to join our private ecom group. It's going to be linked down in the description down below. You can join that, get access to me and my business partner, ask questions each and every day. We're in there answering questions. You can attend the live calls, and you can be a part of a community of people who are on the same journey as you and grow together, so that you're not having to do everything on your own and by yourself. So without any further ado, I'll see you guys in that group and in the next video.